Hello students, I explained first part of the lesson, the deep water. In that part I was telling you that while William Douglas was moving down to the bottom of the swimming pool, he was too much frightened. Now I am going to explain the remaining part of the lesson, next part of the lesson. Stark terror took an even deeper hold on me, and is saying that an unavoidable terror gripped William Douglas like a great charge of electricity. I shook and trembled with fright, and he was trembling with fear, with fright. My arms could not move, my legs would not move. I tried to call for help, to call for mother, nothing happened. That time, his arms were not moving, his legs were not moving, and that time he tried to call for help, he tried to call for his mother, but nothing happened, because his shriek, his screaming could not come out of the water, could not reach out of the water. And then strangely there was a light. While he was under the water, I already told the students that William Douglas was moving under the water like a cork, like a light-weighted cork. Like a light-weighted cork. Cork is a piece of small wood. So William Douglas was in the water, was moving in the water, was sloshing in the water like a cork. That is why suddenly there was a light. Suddenly he saw the light, because he was coming out of the awful yellow colored water. At least his eyes were, my nose was almost out too. After that, his eyes came out of the water, and near about almost his nose also came out of the water, but his mouth remained inside the water. Then I started down the third time. After that, again he was moving towards the bottom of the pool third time, because he was moving in the water like a cork. He was feeling, if he was imagining, if he had no weight. That is why he was moving like a cork in the water. And even after that, he was struggling to come out of the water. In this way, William Douglas wants to give the message to the readers that we should never give hope, we should never give up hope, we should never give up hope, we should never leave hope, and we should always try to come out of our problem. We should try to struggle, because the life is the name of the struggle. And if we want to live in this world, we have to struggle hard. And if we need silence, if we want to live peacefully, then peace is only in death. That is why William Douglas wants to make the readers understand that we should never give up hope. We always used to come over of our difficulty. difficult situation. Then I started down a third time. Mr. Even his body parts stopped working. His mind, his mind was working only, and that is why he was even try to come out of the water. He did not give up hope to save himself, even in that condition. I sucked for air and got water. While he was moving down the bottom of the pool third time, then he wanted to breathe air, but he got water. He wanted to suck air, but got water. The yellowish light was going on, and the yellowish light was going out. Light was going out. There was no light. Then all effort ceased. I relaxed, even my legs felt limp. And then he was relaxed. He felt relaxed. And his legs were lifeless, limp. And the blackness swept over his brain. He could not see anything. It wiped out of fear. When blackness swept over his brain, then fear was removed. It wiped out the terror, and terror was also removed. There was no terror. When the blackness swept over his brain, and he could not see anything, and he lose his consciousness completely. You can say near about. He lost his consciousness. Near about whole consciousness he lost, not near about, not complete. Understood? And then the fear was removed, and terror of water was removed. There was no panic, there was no fear. It was quiet and peaceful, and he was feeling quiet and peaceful that time. Nothing to be afraid of, because he felt if he was going to die. That is why that time he was feeling quiet and peaceful. There was nothing to be afraid of that time. And William Douglas is saying that was nice to be drowsy, to go to sleep. No need to jump. Too tired to jump, because he was too tired to jump. That is why he was exhausted, and his body part stopped working. Even his mind near about stopped working, and he was feeling drowsy to sleep. And it was nice to be carried gently to float along the space, and he observed the tender arms of her mother that time. William Douglas observed the tender arm his mother that time, and that time he decided to go to sleep. That time he thought that he was going to die. I crossed to oblivion, and the curtain of life fell, and he felt unconscious. He became unconscious, and when he became unconscious, then Douglas is saying, then the curtain of life fell, and he was nearly died. The next I remember I was lying on my stomach beside the pool vomiting. After that, when he lost his consciousness completely, then after that he found himself lying on the stomach beside the pool, and that time he was vomiting. That time he was vomiting because he sucked too much water. That is why he was vomiting. The chap that threw me in was saying, but I was only fooling. And the strong muscled boy who threw Douglas into the deep end of the swimming pool in sitting position, he was saying that he was only making a fun of Douglas. Someone said the kid nearly died, and William Douglas heard that someone was saying to that strong muscled boy that he was telling that he was making a fun of William Douglas, but William Douglas because of his mischief, William Douglas could die. Be all right now. Let us carry him to the locker room. And that person instructed a strong muscled boy to carry him to the locker room. Several hours later, I walked home. After that, doctor provided him treatment. Doctor treated him, and after several hours, he went to his home. I was weak and trembling. I shook and cried when I lay on my bed. And after that, he was feeling weak and frightened. And when he was feeling weak and frightened, he cried while laying on the bed. I could not eat that night. William Douglas saying, after several hours after, he went to his home. He said he continued there in the locker room for several hours, and doctor treated him. After that, when he was recovered, then he went to his home, and that night he could not sleep or could not eat because he was afraid of too much. He was frightened too much because of that accident, because of that misadventure. For days a haunting fear was in my heart. He is saying that continual fear was in heart. He was terrorizing, he was frightened for many days because of that misadventure. The slightest exertion upset me, making me wobbly in the knees and sick to my stomach. Slightest exertion. Whenever he used to do even a little work, he felt exhausted and his knees started trembling with fear, with exhaustion. I never went back to the pool. He is saying after that misadventure, he never went back to the YMCA swimming pool. I feared water. I avoided it whenever I could. After that, he started getting fear of water and he avoided water. He started avoiding water. A few years later, when I came to know the waters of the Cascades, he is saying after few years of the misadventure, when William Douglas came to know about the waters of the waterfalls, Cascades, Waterfall, students, you know very well, when the water is moving down the mountain, when the water moves down the mountain or the hilltop because of the melting of glaciers, when the water moves down the mountains because of melting of glacier, because of the melting of snow, when the water moves down the mountain because of melting of the snow of the mountains, it known as cascades. And cascade means water moves down the mountain with a great speed, and that water, that flowing of water, that stream of water known as cascades, waterfall. I wanted to get into them. When he came to know the waters of the cascade, then he wanted to get into the cascades. And whenever I did, whether I was wading the Titan or bumping river or bathing in warm lake of the goat rocks, the terror that had seized me in the pool could come back. Douglas is saying, whenever he went to the cascades, whether he was wading, moving in the Titan river or bumping river, or whenever he used to bath, he used to take a bath in warm lake of the goat rocks, the terror that had seized him in the little pool, in the YMCA swimming pool, returned back. Lindela is saying, whenever he used to go to cascades or bumping river or goat rocks or Titan lake, and he reminded about the terror which he experienced in the YMCA swimming pool. And you know, Douglas is saying, it would take possession of me completely. My legs would become paralyzed. My horror would grab my heart. Whenever he used to take a bath in the lakes or cascades, his legs stopped working, and icy terror used to grab his heart. This handicap stayed with me as the years rolled by, and he remained feeling terrorized. He remained feeling terrorized while in water for many days. Means he had a fear of water for many days. That handicap stayed with him as years rolled by, and he remained terrorized with water for many years. In canoes or main lakes, fishing for landlocked salmon, bass fishing in New Hampshire, trout fishing on the Deschutes and Metolius in Oregon, fishing for salmon on the Columbia, at bumping lakes in the Cascades whenever he went. The haunting fear of water followed me. It ruined my fishing trips, deprived me of the joy of canoeing, boating and swimming. William Douglas is saying that that fear of water gripped him for many years. In canoes of main lakes, while boating in main lakes, while fishing for landlocked salmon. Landlocked salmon is a variety of fish. Bass fishing, bass is a variety of fish in New Hampshire, Trout is a name kind of fish. Trout fishing on the Deschutes and Metellus in Oregon. Fishing for salmon on Columbia. Mr. Writer is saying whenever he used to go for boating purpose on main lakes or fishing purpose, in order to catch landlocked salmon, in order to catch bass fish in New Hampshire, in order to catch trout fish in Deschutes, in order to catch Metellus fish in Oregon, in order to catch salmon on Columbia, or in order to catch fish for salmon and Columbia, he used to be terrorized. At Bumping Lake in the Cascades, whenever I went, the hunting fear, whenever he went, the water bodies, lakes, you can see water bodies like lakes, rivers, anywhere, whenever he reached, whenever he went near the water bodies, he was terrorized. It ruined my fishing trip, and this terror of water, this fear of water ruined his fishing trips and deprived him of the joy of boating, canoeing and swimming. I used every way I knew to overcome this fear, but it held me firmly in its grips. And he tried to overcome of the fear, but he could not get success in overcoming of fear of water. Finally, one October, I decided to get an instructor and learn to swim. When he could not get success to come out of fear of water, then finally on 1 October, he hired an instructor in order to learn swimming. When he could not get success in overcoming of fear of water, he hired an instructor on 1 October in order to learn to swim. I went to a pool and practiced 5 days, a week, an hour each day. After that, he started reaching the pool and started practicing 5 days a week, an hour each day. The instructor put a belt around me, and you know what did instructor do? Instructor put a belt around William Douglas' waist, and from that belt he attached the rope and pulley, and from that belt instructor attached the rope and pulley that ran on the overhead cable, and from that pulley he attached the rope. Means at first instructor attached the belt on the waist of William Douglas, and from that belt he attached the pulley and a rope, and one end of the rope he held one end of the rope. He held one end of the rope which was attached to a pulley with the belt, which was attached to the waist of William Douglas. And then they moved forward and backward in the water across the pool, hour after hour, day after day, week after week. Means in this way he tried to practice swimming for many days. On each trip across the pool, a bit of the panic seized me, and on each trip across the pool, a bit of panic seized me, a bit of fear gripped him. Each time the instructor relaxed his hold on the rope and I went under. Some of the old terror returned and my legs froze. And each time the instructor relaxed the hold on the rope. Each time instructor loosened the rope, relaxed the hold on the rope. And when he relaxed his hold on the rope, then Douglas went under the water. And when he reached under the water, then some of the old terror returned. Then he reminded about the some of the old terror, and then his legs stopped working. It was 3 months before the tension began to slack, and he practiced for swimming continuously for 3 months, and there the terror was lessened. Terror was removed, not totally but removed. Then he taught me to put my face underwater and exhale. After that instructor taught him to put his face under the water and exhale and breathe. The instructor taught him to breathe while keeping his mouth and nose under the water, and to raise my nose and inhale. And instructor taught him to exhale by putting his head under the water, putting his nose under the water, and he taught him to inhale while putting his nose outside of the water. I repeated the exercise hundreds of times. In this way, William Douglas repeated the exercise hundreds of times. Bit by bit, I shed the part of the panic. And in this way, he started shedding the part of the fear bit by bit. Next, he held me at the side of the pool and had me kick with my legs. After that, instructor held William Douglas with the help of the rope, which was attached to the belt with the pulley. That belt was attached to the waist of Douglas, and from that belt a pulley was attached, and from that pulley a rope was attached. Understood? Next, he held me at the side of the pool with the help of the rope and had me kick with my legs, and instructed William Douglas to kick the water with his legs. For weeks I did just that, and William Douglas repeated that exercise for many weeks. At first, my legs refused to work, but they gradually relaxed, and finally I could command them. At first, William Douglas saying, at first his legs refused to work, but when he started kicking the water, and when he kicked the water many times, then finally William Douglas could command his legs even in the water to kick the water. Thus, piece by piece, he built a swimmer. Like saying, then piece by piece, step by step, means instructor taught him swimming step by step, and after that he taught him swimming. And when he had perfected each piece, when the instructor taught every step of swimming one by one, then he instructed Douglas to put them together, to use all steps of swimming together. After teaching about every step of swimming one by one, instructor instructed Douglas to use all the steps of swimming together. In April, he said, in the month of April, instructor instructed Douglas that he could swim alone. And he instructed him to dive off and swim the length of the pool using crawl stroke. I did, the instructor was finished. After that, I swam across the pool using crawl stroke, and then instructor's work was finished and William Douglas learned swimming. But I was not finished. Douglas saying that he learned swimming, but the fear of water was not totally finished, totally removed from the mind of William Douglas. I still wondered if I would be terror-stricken when I was alone in the pool. And he was thinking if he would be terror-stricken when he would swim along the pool. When he would swim alone in the pool. I tried it. I swam the length up and down. And after that, William Douglas tried to know about it, if his fear of water was completely removed or not. That is why he swam the length of pool up and down. Tiny vestiges of the old terror would return. While he was swimming across the length of the pool up and down, then the tiny vestiges of old terror, returned. So while he was moving alone in the swimming pool, he had a fear of water. But now I could frown and say to that terror. But then he could frown, he could become angry. And then when he felt terrorized while swimming in the water alone, then he could become angry with the terror. And he used to say that, Mr. Terror, you are trying to scare me. Mr. Terror, you are trying to frighten me. Well, here is you. Now you stay here. And William Douglas used to say to the terror that it should be stayed there. And then after saying that, William Douglas used to swim another length of the pool. Whenever William Douglas felt terrorized with water, means whenever William Douglas reminded about the fear of water, then he used to say to that terror, to that fear, that Mr. Terror, he used to say the terror that it should stay at its place. And after saying that, William Douglas used to swim another length of the pool. Understood or not? This went on until July. But I was still not satisfied. I was not sure that all the terror had left. And I continued practicing in swimming pool alone. But William Douglas is saying that he continued practicing swimming in the pool alone up to the month of July, till the month of July. He was not satisfied, fully satisfied, that he completely overcame of fear. I was not sure that all the terror had left. So I went to Lake Wentworth. This is the name of the lake, Wentworth. That is why, for getting out of the fear completely while swimming, William Douglas went to Lake Wentworth, which is in New Hampshire. Hampshire is the name of the place in America. And after reaching Lake Wentworth, William Douglas dived off a dock at Triggs Island, and he dived into the lake from the Triggs Island. That island was just the bank of that lake, and then he swam 2 miles across the lake to Stamp Act Island. After that, he swam 2 miles across the lake to Stamp Act Island. Then he swam the crawl breaststroke. Then he used crawl stroke, breaststroke while swimming. Then he used crawl stroke, breaststroke, side stroke, and the backstroke while swimming. Only once did the terror return when I was in the middle of the lake. Douglas is saying, terror returned to me. Terror returned to him. He reminded of terror again while he was just in the middle of Lake Wentworth. While he was swimming in the middle of Lake Wentworth, then he again reminded of fear of water. Reminded about the fear of water. I put my face under and saw nothing but bottomless water. While swimming in the middle of Lake Wentworth, he put his face under the water and he did not see anything but bottomless water. The old sensation returned in miniature. Then the old sensation of fear returned. Then William Douglas reminded the old sensation of fear of water. I laughed and sad. When he reminded an old sensation of little fear of water, then he laughed and said, "Well, Mr. Terror." And then he understood that terror wanted to terrorize him. That is why he addressed the terror as Mr. Terror. He told Mr. Terror what he thought, what the terror thought. If he could terrorize him while swimming in the middle of the Lake Wentworth, and that time he was putting his face under the water, then he did not see anything. Then he reminded his old sensation of fear of water. When he reminded about the old sensation of fear of water, then he laughed and said, Mr. Terror, what he thought he could terrorize him again. It fled and I swam on. When he told this to Mr. Terror, then terror moved away. Terror moved away. And when terror moved away, then William Douglas swam on. William Douglas is saying, when he was swimming in the middle of Lake Wentworth, by putting his head under the water, he reminded his old sensation of fear of water. When he reminded, then he did not want to frighten of, he did not want to be terrorized of the fear of water, and instead of being terrorized, he challenged the terror. That terror could not terrorize him. And after challenging the terror, he swam on. In this way, William Douglas wants to say want to give the message that we should not be terrorized even by the odd circumstances, and we should try to overcome of the fear. Yet I had residual doubts at my first opportunity. I hurried west, went up to Titan to Conrad Meadows, up the Conrad Creek Trail to Mead Glacier, and camped in the high meadow by the side of the warm lake. Yet, even after that, he had some remaining fear. He had some remaining doubts about the fear. At his first opportunity, he hurried towards the west. He moved toward the west. After that, he reached Titan River to Conrad Meadows, up the Conrad Creeks, and then he moved towards the Mead Glacier, and then after reaching the Mead Glacier, he camped in the high meadow. He stayed in the high meadow by the side of warm lake. He stayed at the high meadow which was situated by the side of warm lake. And the next morning he removed his cloth, stripped and dived into the lake and swam across to the other shore and back. And after that, after removing all his cloth, he dived into the warm lake and swam across the other shore and back to the high meadow. After that, just as Doc Carpon used to do. William Douglas is saying that in the next morning he removed all his clothes and dived into the lake, warm lake, and swam across to the other shore and back, just as Doc Carpon, who was the best swimmer, used to do. I shouted with joy when I swam into the river warm lake. Then he shouted with joy, and the Gilbert Peak returned the echo of his shout. Gilbert Peak means Gilbert Mountain. Name of the Gilbert is a mountain range, and its peak is top, known as Gilbert Peak. And when he shouted, then Gilbert Peak echoed his shout. His shout returned in the form of echo to him again. I had conquered my fear of water. In this way, he overcame of his fear of water. The experience had a deep meaning for me, as only those who have known stock terror and conquered it can appreciate. William Douglas further saying that the experience had a deep meaning. That experience is the experience. What was experience? The misadventure which was happened when he went to the California beach along with his father, and other misadventure which happened when a strong muscled boy threw him at the deep end of the pool, and after that he started getting fear of water, and after that he struggled to overcome of that fear. At last he got success in overcoming of the fear of water. That is why William Douglas is saying that experience had a deep meaning for him, as only those who have known the unavoidable fear, the experience had a deep meaning for him, and only those persons who only can understand the experience about the experience which William Douglas had who knew about the unavoidable terror and conquered and overcame and conquered of it can appreciate William Douglas' efforts. William Douglas is saying the persons who faced the terror, and after struggling hard, they had overcome of that terror. They only can understand the struggle of William Douglas for overcoming of the fear of water, of terror. Understood not? In this way, William Douglas is saying that the persons who faced terror, who were terrorized at first, and after struggling hard, they would have overcome of that terror. They only can understand. They only can understand about the situation, about the experience faced by William Douglas. There is a terror only in the fear of death. William Douglas is saying, in death there is a peace. In death there is a peace, and there is a terror only in the fear of death. There is a terror only fear of death. Why we are terrorized? Because we had a fear of death. That is why we are terrorized. If there is no fear of death, we would never be terrorized. As Roosevelt knew when he said, all we have to fear is fear itself. William Douglas is saying, Roosevelt, who was the American president, he was also William Douglas' best friend. William Douglas is saying, as Roosevelt knew when he said, all we have to fear is fear itself. What did he said? He said, all we have to fear is fear itself. He said, persons fear only with fear. He said, whatever we have to fear is fear itself. Is fear itself. That is why it is not need to fear of anything. It is not need to frighten of anything. It is not need to afraid of anything. Because all we have to fear is fear itself. Because I had experienced both the sensation of dying and terror that fear of it can produce. Douglas is saying, because he had experienced both the sensation of dying and terror that fear of it can produce. Douglas is saying he had experienced both the sensation of dying and terror. Dying and terror that fear of it can produce. Fear of it can produce. The will to live somehow grew in intensity. The will to live somehow grew in intensity in William Douglas when he overcame of fear of water. At last I felt relaxed, free to walk the trails and climb the peaks and to brush aside fear. At last he felt relaxed, free to walk the trails and climb the peaks and to brush aside the fear. By keeping the fear aside, he started enjoying his canoeing, fishing and everything, walking the trails and climbing the peaks. Understood? Now students, I think you will have understood the meaning of this part of the lesson. In this way, with the help of this lesson, William Douglas has tried to give the message to the readers that we should not be frightened of anything, we should not be afraid of anything, and we should not lose our heart even in difficulty, and we should try to overcome of our difficulty courageously. And he has also wanted to say that if we want to live, then we have to struggle, because peace is only in death. Peace is only in death, and the name of the life is struggle. Understood not? If we want to live in this world, we would never find peace, because peace is only in death. Understood not? So students, I think you will have understood the lesson, and you should do accordingly as William Douglas did for overcoming of his fear, for overcoming of his difficult situation. Thank you and have a nice day. I request you to read the lesson carefully, so that you may understand its meaning very well. If you feel any difficulty, you can ask me. Thank you and have a nice day.